Thank you for joining me and welcome back to Court Farm. Might be a bit of a short intro edge to this episode, but because of the lightness it's getting pretty dark. So last episode I was in a bit of a quandary because it was so difficult to get this in and out of fields, and it still is, it totally is. However, I can get a smaller header for this, and I'm going to have to do a bit of maths, because essentially we can sell this back and lose a lot. Sort of 30-40 grand. If we were to get rid of this and then take back the Russell mash. But with the Russell mash we would have header as well. We obviously only lease this header and the trailer to go with it. So what my intention to do is to test it out and weigh up the pros and cons by knocking out as many of the small harvesting contracts as possible. Potentially in this episode I might do a lot if it gets dark, just because I don't want them disappearing. One bonus we've got with this, apart from the obvious, which is pretty much double the tank size, is that its lighting's pretty good as well, should one need to be doing late night harvesting, which is quite common. I'm not sure what the lighting rig is like on the Russell mash. I'm really tired because some of the harvest contracts would use this New Holland. If we get the Russell mash, at some point it's going to be too small, so we're going to want a bigger one. And then are we going to be able to get one of these or something similar? The other ones might be too big. This might be the end of it, you know. That's my worry. That's where I'm at. I'm not going to make it to the trailer. What a shame. No, I'm going to have to go through that. I've done one field already, and to be fair, getting into it wasn't too bad. It's just, if we had a smaller header might be easier to make a way around. The harvester was okay for size, it's just a little bit tight on certain points, but then so's the Russell mash, you know. The roads are quite small. I think we might be, I mean, sell this, we get about 90 grand back, which loses 30-40 grand from the 120 we paid. Plus we have to pay about 25 grand. We don't have to pay 25 grand, but we'll have to pay 25 grand to get it up to the standard to get the 90 something back. That one. Tell I've not been on for a few days, I forgot to play. So Rosslamash will cost us less than 50 to buy that and the header. Then the header's going to be, a header for this is 30-40 grand. I might have to sit and actually write these things down to work out what's going to be best. But I thought safest sort of bet. Maybe I should just give it a go with the smaller header as well, to be fair. It's a tricky one. It's a very tricky one for me. On one side of it, we'll clear a bit of money off the debt. In the long run, we're going to need, we'll want a bigger harvester anyway, won't we? Are we going to be able to just suffice with the Rosslamash for the whole of the series? Or we could just have this. I don't mind having a smaller header, to be fair. But the tank's big enough so that when we've got staff working for us, if that point ever comes, then we're able to, you know, drop off stuff and we can cart, and they're not going to fill their tank up as quick. It's a part of me think that's what's sitting in my head. Long term, this makes sense. Short term, it's a tricky one. Because we're still going to be taking a big financial hit. And to be fair, we're only getting £1.5 grand, £2 grand for each harvest we're doing. It's incredibly, it's a bit of a quandary. Definitely getting quite dark now. I will I don't really like doing the farming in the dark too much. Not good for TV, is it? Quite nice though, if you just about make the end of that. I mean, it is that time of year as well, you would do this at night. Not missing the edge too much. Oh, I want to go again. Pipe out. I prefer a smaller header, to be fair. Sounds like, yeah, good stuff. I think we might be best off keeping this. I mean, I've not checked it today, but there was a few small contracts that we could try and pick up. Let's head down to the bottom and start again. Whoa, dear. Maybe I should just lease the other header to see how we get on with that. Well, it's just a smaller header, it's not really going to matter, is it? If we're potentially just delaying the inevitable of getting a new harvester, aren't we, if we take this one back and pick up the old one? I'll have a think about it while I try and consider what's best to do. It's early the next morning. It just got too dark for me to carry on. So I'd finished one contract off, picked up another because it was barley, and hopefully I can get all of these into this trailer. Now the only, it's quite dark. 5:30 in the morning now. I've decided that I'm gonna in order to do a proper test is to drop this header off and lease the header I'm intending to get to find out to do the next harvests, which will be linseed. So that'll be quite an interesting one. See how it works with that. I'm gonna say I've slept on it. It's a fresh day in both game and real world, and I know it's going to free up some of the loan amount if we were to return this, but at the same time we're going to be losing money in the long run, so I don't think it makes any sense to me to potentially get rid of it. It's just basically can we get on with a try and get it in there. Sure. Can we get on with a smaller header? It's essentially what the I suppose you call it second part of this episode we'll be testing, and getting a look at the linseed, which will be quite nice. That trailer looks like it's moved in the night. That's not good. There we go. There we go. So, bring this back in. This is the last of the barley, so maybe I'll be better off whipping over and delivering the barley first thing, because we've got 2 drop-off points. We need to be very strategic and on the money with this. We need to keep as much of this as possible. I mean, we've got our own barley coming, but this is chicken feed, net for free. Been some interesting mods out recently that I'm potentially gonna look at as potential. I mean, hopefully might be able to integrate into this series. What are we in? July, the third part of July, so we've got... Hopefully the other harvesting contracts are going to stay up for a little while. There's our red beet. Well, looks like it's going to be a nice day today. No doubt some deer about to fall from the sky. Oh no. Normally that's the key spot. You can see the barley through my mirror. Some decent fields here, looking ready for ripe for harvesting. And home farms struggling a bit. Mind you, it did with the... I've dropped 40,000 litres off already. Ah, looks lovely. So that's what, 73,000 litres of barley just on contracts alone. This sheep always loves to run alongside. I need to check on... I suppose their grass is coming back, but it's not too bad. I feel like the first day of each month we're going to have to be focused on, possibly the first and the last of each month, we need to focus on these two farms. Because that's your bread and butter money. Yes, Valley View, that's, yeah, this is going to need a tiny amount, I think. Ah, I know I'm going to hit that. This will work quite nice actually. I think the next one is Tall Trees, which is just over. I better double check on I really. Tall Trees, which is that down the bottom or is that up near? Tall Trees, round the corner. How'd you like that barley? Lovely stuff. Ooh, I didn't realise that we were going to need that much, but not to worry. I was going to skip ahead, but I've got a really bad feeling this contract isn't going to finish now. 20,000 isn't a lot. That way. Good looking field there. It's nice this time of the year. Everything looking lush. Even the stuff that's looking brown because it's ready to harvest. It's dried up and it's ready. This might need a bit of a boost up in engine power, which another amount of money we've not got. Come on. Well, 5,000 litres is going to keep our chickens running for a little while. So I'm going to go and drop this off and head to the next field. I'm going to take back the harvest header and lease the smaller one, see how we get on with it. Catch you on the next segment. Alright, I've switched the header out. Got ourselves this little guy. Didn't seem to want to go on the trailer very well. This is a 20 footer. And the other one was 28 foot. It's 25 foot as well, that's stock. To be fair, the 28 foot trailer that it was on, as long as it was, it did have turning axles at the front and rear, so actually winding it through those back bits wasn't really that much of an issue, although the problem's getting in and out of fields, isn't it? That's the problem. But we've got really lucky with these linseed harvests, literally next door to each other. So I dropped the trailer off. I think it just makes sense to keep hold of this harvester now. Header wise, the jury's still out for me. Right, that's one entrance. The other one's just over. There's no room once we're in to I mean, it is just going to have to stay there. It's just... Oop, what have I just drove up? It's just the way it's going to have to... Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I thought it was important to record this bit. You know, because that's part of the whole point of this episode, is to just wait there, please, sir. Is to test out how difficult it is getting in and out. It's a much smaller header. Where should we start from? You buy. Go on. Ooh, telegraph poles as well. Oh, come on, mate. No. Monster trucks, stay where you are. Okay. It's not going to go over there, is it? No. So essentially I've got no option on this map but go through hedges. So I suppose the header doesn't really matter then, does it? The modded header does work well, that's good to see. Linseed's quite patchy, isn't it, compared to... not the thickness that I would expect, but... Maybe the 25 footer would have been perfectly fine for us then. I mean, that's what you'd get. It's not that much. Well, it's a quarter of this bigger, but it's not that much more expensive. It's a few grand. Possibly what we do is we just lease this for now. See how long this takes, and if one comes up in the sale, we get it because it'll be cheaper. And that's just how we'll have to play it. I like it when I can see, because then you can do a bit of in-cab harvesting, but the harvester does fit the map okay. Ish, I think even the Rosslamash has got opportunities to get stuck. I can't particularly do a little speed up of this, can I? Because I've already done one. It'd be a bit harsh putting you through two. It's not something that I normally do. Oh, yeah, I forgot to shut that, didn't I? Very good. The dealership isn't going to like that one. Take it back. Or they might sell it at a discount afterwards. We can but hope. £7:15. So we started this about 7 o'clock. It's a decent sized field. For the map, there's no behemoth. And it's not a bad size. I think I'll come back to you once I've got a little bit of this done. I'll give you an update. Well, it's taken quite a bit longer than I was expecting it to. I will not lie. This header possibly with a bad idea. I'll show you for why. I'll show you for why now. That's the field that I said was a decent size. I thought that was the bigger field, but no, this one is the bigger field. Hence why it's now coming up to 10:30. But we have dropped off most of Can we get out that way? Whoops. I think we're going to have to go around, aren't we? We've got to head down the bottom of the map to deliver the last bits. There's quite a big amount of harvesting gone on this episode. I'll be able to tell you the literage in just a moment. But I have made a decision. We'll keep the New Holland. I think we'll lease a different sized header. For future, for the rest of summer, and then if one comes up in the sale, we'll just bite the bullet and get it. One thing to note is, as long as that took as long as it did, the header that we've used, as well as the tank being bigger, it's about 20% longer than the Russell mash, so twice as big. Beacons back on. Twice as big a it's a nightmare getting in and out of this as well. Twice as big a tank, pretty much, and a much bigger nice and wide. Done it. Didn't do it the first time. So it would have took a hell of a lot longer with the Russell Mash, and then I would have been regretting not keeping the New Holland. So the test worked. That's good news. Bad news is I probably should have just kept the other header, because we've spent money on a new lease. But ooh, bounced on something. Yeah, don't slow down, will you? And this first lot that we had to drop off was over at the greenhouse thing. Very top part of the map, miles away. Although, has he just drove into the back of us? Yes, he has. Although, there's a huge plot of land right at the side of there, which has now got me thinking a little bit about building our own. Because it's quite tight on Stonebridge, build our own farm. Although it's just tight everywhere, isn't it? That's England. Slow it down, son. Come on. We're in the countryside now. I mean, that's a fantastic sized area. With a windmill. That's really expensive though, I think, isn't it? There's something down the bottom end as well, isn't there? And just get a big block of land and build our own. We'll stay where we are. It's at the end of the road. Here. That's it. That's a decent size. And then the bit up, such a long drive. It was just insane. Which also suggests, you know, if we were to buy it, we'd be miles away from anywhere. Where's this side? Down here. Can't get, well, this bit's part of the periphery 0, but this bit it's quite a interesting area. It's marshland. Take over the marshes, and there's stuff around. Some big sized fields, to be fair. You could go big farming. The only thing is, the map can't be, you can't delete bits and bobs, can you? So Can't clear stuff out, and, like hedgerows, and put fields together and things like that, or just to put a path through. I don't think. I might be able to try it off camera. Let me know in the comment, do you think we should just sell everything and buy a plot of land? Then we're definitely going to have no money for sheds and things. The other thing with that is we won't be able to do animals as well. Stonebridge, if we make some money, we can get the animals in. That's where I think we should be looking towards. Those pastures at the back of us. I don't know how much they are, but I don't want to think about it until we haven't got 200 grand of debt sitting around our neck. So, in the long run, keeping the New Holland is a better idea. Yeah, we're going to have to buy a header at some point, but we have got a corn header though. We can keep hold of that. Let's beat him. Plenty of time to get around there for him. What are we going to do with the linseed? But while we find out what bounty we've got left from this, I do hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please drop us a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And if you've got any ideas or suggestions you want to see happen in the series, feel free to pop them in the comment section below. Is it even worth holding 2,000 litres of linseed? Is there anything we can do with it? Let's just flog it, we need the cash. A little bit of a disappointing end to that. I was hoping for more than that. What was in there? 6. We'd already done 106,000 litres dropped off. So over 120,000 litres harvested and delivered just on this episode alone. Now on the next episode, even though it's that time of year, just to break it up, I won't be doing any harvesting. We'll be doing something else. So, until next time, I do hope you've enjoyed the episode, and thank you ever so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.